Good morning. Hey, happy February. We are in February. This is February 1st, and y'all time is just going fast. As I always say, because I was saying that in 2022 and then all of a sudden we were in 2022, 23, and then here we are, we're a month in. We are on the second month. Oh my gosh. And I realized I am 3 months away from giving birth. I don't know if y'all can see. Y'all can't usually see it well. Look at this thing. Look at this. Yes. So we are getting closer. We're getting closer. And I was just thinking this morning, I was like, whoo, 6 o'clock. It's kind of early. Um, it's hitting me now because I have a bit of insomnia due to the pregnancy. I don't think I've experienced this before, but maybe I have. I don't know. But I'm having a hard time sleeping. I'm having a hard time sleeping at night. So for some reason I can only sleep during the day. It's just been crazy. Everything's been flipped upside down. But needless to say, I'm counting down the days. I'm counting down the months. And so we are hitting February. So I'm happy about that. We are here. And how are you guys doing? We always talk about that. And I always ask, and I want you to ask yourself. It's not that you have to put it here, but how are you doing? How are you feeling? How is your day going thus far? And beyond that, one of the questions that I asked my husband the other day is just, hey, we're about to leave out of January. We're about to head into February. How do you think January went for you? How do you feel about it? What would you want to do it over? Are there some things that you want to keep from January? Are there some things that you did great? What did you do great? What happened that was great? What things do you want to improve upon as we're moving into February? Those are the things that I want us to think about because we've got 12 months in this year and every year. And sometimes we can get hung up on what has happened in a month, and then it rolls into the next month, and then it rolls into the next month, and then it rolls into the next month. And then before we know it, we are at the end of the year in November, December, and we're like, oh my gosh, what have I done this year? Or what kind of changes have I made? And we're reflecting, and it's seeming like we're kind of repeating processes, that we're repeating situations, we're repeating circumstances, and we're tired of it. And then we go into another year. We prepare for the next year, and we make all these New Year's resolutions and everything. We're saying we're going to do things different, and we kind of carry the same thing in. So I just want us to self evaluate every month, every month. How is it going? If you can, it would be better if you can do it every week, every 2 weeks, every day. Whatever you can do, I want you to start there and just really just ask yourself, hey, what went good? How am I feeling about where I am headed? Am I headed in the right direction? Do I feel aligned or in alignment with where I'm supposed to be going? So don't forget to check in with yourself, okay? Don't forget to check in with yourself. So we are supposed to be talking about distractors. And I tell you, when I wrote that distraction, sometimes it's easily identified. Sometimes when a distraction is presenting itself, and you're like, yeah, right, keep it moving. And then there's other times where they can just creep up on in, and you don't even know what is going on, what is happening, and you kind of fall victim to it. And then in hindsight, you realize that it was a distraction. So what I want to do is to help you avoid the hindsight, because I don't want you to go there if you don't have to. So, one of the things that I want to ask, and of course, like I said, you don't have to answer it here, but I want you to answer it in here, is that how many of you like to know why? The answer to why. Like I've always been a why person of where I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. So I mean that's why I've been kind of consumed or whatever with criminal shows and documentaries because whenever I look at them, I'm like, no, 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 mm-mm. You can't tell me this person was born bad because he wasn't. I don't know anyone that just is born evil, that's just born to do these things. There's a reason. There's a reason behind that. And so that's how I've kept everything. I've done that through law school. I've done that with working with people. It's just always a reason. I'm ready and I'm willing to get to that reason. But when it comes to our lives, and then when it comes to my life, I've found out that I'm the same way. So I'm asking, why? And not necessarily why is this happening to me when I'm placed in situations that are less favorable, but can you at least tell me like where the dots connect? Why is this happening as a whole? And what can I learn from it so then I cannot be in the situation anymore? And so I didn't think that that was an issue. I didn't think that that was a problem. I'm like, well, I'm not complaining about being in the situation. I'm just trying to figure out like why? Why am I in this situation? Did I do something wrong? Did I miss something? Was it something that I didn't pay attention to? Is it something that I'm just not understanding, not grasping? If so, then why can't you just show me? I don't understand. But you see that line of questioning and where it goes, and how that can just distract you and detract your focus from what you're actually supposed to be focusing on and receiving in that moment. And what I realized is that my questioning and wondering why and trying to connect the dots and and trying to see how things connect and why it's happening and where things work and whatever else it is, all that did was just all that was basically just a wall of resistance because I'm essentially resisting what I am supposed to be receiving in that moment. So, what I was actually supposed to be doing is just accepting where I am. And one of the things that I had to come to terms with was okay, accepting where I am. If I accept where I am, is it where I'm just powerless? Is it where I just succumb to what it is that I'm facing? Is it where I'm just like, okay, well, I don't really like this situation, but it's okay. We can be here. It's cool. Is it where I'm complacent? Is it where I'm acting like I'm content where I'm not content? Is it where I'm putting on a facade? So, but what I actually realized is that that's not the truth. Me accepting that. So acceptance is not a sign of weakness. And that's the lens that I was looking at it through. Is that if I accept, I'm basically just falling on my knees and just saying, okay, do what you will, whatever. It is what it is. And I'll just pick up the pieces once you leave. That's not what it is. Acceptance actually is strength. When you are in a situation and it is something that's less favorable or whatever it may be, and you may want to leave out of it because it's uncomfortable, it's where accepting where I am. Now, first of all, that takes strength because I don't want to be here, right? I really don't. But I'm accepting it because I trust what God is doing with it. I know that there is a reason, but I don't have to know the reason to be able to move forward. So, me trying to figure out the reason, it acts as a block for me moving forward because I'm not trying to move forward with the same energy, the same mental capacity that I could if only I would just let that piece go and just accept it. I can move freely. And that is another thing that I saw is just that part and trying to put together the dots and trying to make sense of everything. All that did was detract from the mental capacity that I had, from my energy. It was depleting me instead of adding to me. My mind and everything else was over here trying to figure things out rather than really being present in the moment and trying to see what it is that I am actually supposed to be paying attention to. Do you see how that works? Where you're focused over here and you're asking, hey, what am I supposed to be doing here? Why is this happening? What am I supposed to be focused on? What is this? What is going on? And you're doing all of that. And God's like, look, if you just look straight and you just pay attention, I'm showing you what you need to pay attention to. The only thing that you have to do is be present in the moment. Don't worry about why I am doing it. Trust and believe. And that's where the trust comes, that the dots will connect when they are supposed to connect. The Bible even says it, lean not unto our own understanding. His ways are not our ways. But for us, we just want to know. We want to know the answers. That's just, I mean, we've been taught that in school, right? You're supposed to get the answers. And then not only are you supposed to get the answer, you're supposed to get that correct answer. So you can't just throw anything down, and you are rewarded for getting the correct answer. So we have been trained up to find and to figure out and to get things right and not to make a mistake and and to be basically perfect. But that's just not when you choose this journey and you're on this and you're saying, okay, Lord, I want to be led, I want to be molded, I want to be shaped into the person that you called me to be, I want to make the impact that you have for me. I want to touch everyone that I can possibly touch. I want to make the greatest impact that I can possibly do. Then, like we talked about last week, your the order is up. Then God is like, okay, well then great. I got you. I'm going to place you in situations that are going to mold you. That are going to shape you, that are going to prepare you for where it is that I have for you and where it is that you are going. So when those things present itself, it then we're now looking and like, oh my gosh, well, why is this happening? What is going on? What am I not paying attention to? God's like, wait, hold on. You asked for this. Did you not? You wanted this. You want to be the best that you can be. And it doesn't mean that you have to utter those same words. I want to be, I want to be the person that you've created me to be. You want to be you don't have to utter those same words, but everybody wants to be at their best, right? Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to be able to touch people. Everybody wants to be able to help. Everybody wants to leave their mark on the world. This is like something that is just innate to people. It's just a desire that we have. We want to help other people. So if that is the case, and you are wanting to be the best version of yourself, then that is what's going to happen. So that's what he's like. You ask for this. You ask for this. But when it's coming, you are now resisting it rather than accepting it and just trusting that I have a plan. And when you trust and you accept and you let everything else go that's going on in your mind and you're trying to figure things out, when you let that go, you free up space. Free up space mentally, you free up space energetically. And so now I can become more aligned energetically to what it is that I actually desire, what it is that God actually has for me, rather than what I'm putting out energetically when I'm frantically trying to figure out why and what is going on. What I'm putting out is that I'm not ready. I don't want it yet. I've got to figure this thing out before I continue down this path. This isn't something that I want right now. And I know that's not true. That's not true. So sometimes I ask, like, why do we do these things? But it's because sometimes we're just on autopilot. I'm just gonna be honest. And it's easy to do that. It's easy to fall into a space where we are just operating and we aren't checking in. We don't know what's really going on. We're just moving day by day, minute by minute, and just going with the flow. But I want us to become more self aware and evaluate more often. Where are we headed? What are we doing? How are you feeling? Are you feeling depleted? Are you feeling like you don't have that much energy? Are you tired? Why? Why are you tired? Why do you feel drained? What have you been thinking about? What has been occupying your brain? What have you been mulling over? What are the answers that you are seeking? And when we're asking ourselves, what are the answers that we're seeking? Then okay, what are the answers that we're seeking, but what are the questions that we're asking? And in those questions that we're asking, is it are those questions that I can actually answer right now? If not, then let it go and trust that I will get the answers when I'm supposed to get those answers and if I'm supposed to get those answers. Period. But other than that, I am in this space. I am here right now and I am here for a reason. That reason doesn't have to be where I know it. I don't have to know it to go forward with confidence. I don't have to know it to be able to continue with this journey. I don't have to know it to be able to absorb the things that I'm supposed to absorb. I'm going to be focused on my journey. I'm going to be focused on my walk. I'm going to be focused on where God is leading me. And I trust that along this journey, I'm going to gain everything that I'm supposed to gain to be able to prepare me for where I am supposed to be going. My preparation is in front of me. It's not over to the side. It's not over to my right. It's not over to my left. It's not behind me. It is in front. So my eyes have to be focused on where I am going and not distracted on these other things that will pop up on my walk, on my journey, that will have me stopping and looking and wondering and questioning and doubting and worrying and all these other things. We don't have time for that. We don't. We don't. So one of the things that I wrote down, and it just popped up right now as I looked over. But are we accepting out of power or are we resisting out of weakness? That is one thing that I want you to think about. Like, am I accepting out of power or am I resisting out of weakness? Because that is what it is when we're placing it at that wall of resistance. It is only happening because it is a weakness. It is. It's something that I'm saying, well, I'm not comfortable right now. And because I'm not comfortable, I need to have the answer of why this is happening. Because right now, I'm wondering whether it's myself. I'm wondering if I missed something. I'm wondering if I did something wrong. I'm wondering if I'm not paying attention. I'm wondering if I'm not doing enough. I'm wondering if I should be doing something else. I'm wondering if I should. You're doing all that. And that is just causing all this noise, all this noise. And I had made a post about that. It's just like, yo, we're going to have to quiet the noise. We're going to have to quiet the noise of what other people think, even what we're thinking, what we're trying to figure out, and just really seek internal guidance, just being still, just being quiet and listening. Where am I feeling led to go? Not why, but where. What? Focus on the what. What am I supposed to be doing in this moment? Am I supposed to be continuing going forward? If I'm supposed to be continuing going forward, then I'm going to continue going forward. I don't need to know the why. I don't need to know the why. But that weakness shows up when we're so uncomfortable and we want to get out of the situation. So we're trying to figure it out and we're trying to console ourselves and trying to make ourselves feel better. But we got to let that go. We got to let that go. So one of the other things, I'm going to leave you out with this, But one of the other things that I thought about as I was, I think I was praying one morning, and it just hit me. I was just like, "Yo, as I always say, we are powerful beings. We are so powerful, but are we using that power? Are we fully tapping into that power?" And one of the things that I thought about as our power is the power that we hold right here in our words, right? The Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue. That's pretty heavy. Death and life, like those are really big things. But yet, when some of us approach prayer, when some of us approach our day, anything just comes out of our mouth. When we're praying, sometimes we're just like, "Hey, Lord, thank you for this, thank you for that." And, it'd be great if, I really want this car. We really need one, and I asked for that, but if if it's not your will, then your will be done. And I this situation, I don't like this situation, but I'll be here if you want me to be here. And it's just like, no, that's not the power that I'm feeling. That's not the power that I know that we have. And I'm just like, I don't think I've fully tapped into the fact that I can speak to my situation, and you can speak to your situation. And, and just knowing that, hey, just like I said, my acceptance does not reflect weakness. It's not saying that, okay, I'm just succumbing to this. And that's one of the things that my husband and I talked about yesterday. Is just like, look, you can have it where, okay, God is like, okay, this person needs to come in your house. This person needs to come in your house. He needs to stay there for a couple of days. Let him in. That is your situation. Okay. We let this person in our house, but at that moment, when they're in my house, I have power. I have power. Yes, I can accept that member into my house, but that does not mean that now I'm saying, okay, what's mine is yours, buddy. If you want to take my TV, take my TV. If you want to take my bed, you can take my room. Shoot, you can take all our food for all that. No, 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 no. I control you. You do not control me. So my situation, although I may accept it, although I may say, okay, this is cool. We are where we are, and I'm good. I am good being here because I know it's only temporary. I know that this person is only going to stay here temporarily. Okay. So I'm going to treat him well. I'm going to accept him. But there are going to be guidelines. What you're not going to do is you're going to touch my stuff and take it. You're not going to be doing this. You're not going to be doing that. I am laying down my ground rules of what I am willing to accept and what I am not willing to accept. And sometimes when we're in situations and situations present themselves that are less favorable, we accept everything that it comes with. And we're just like, you know what, whatever. I'm just like, I'm powerless in this situation, but you're not. So it's like, okay, situation, you're coming, and I understand that you're doing a work, and that's good, and I accept that. But I tell you this: when those thoughts are coming in your mind, when those doubts are springing up, when those worries are happening, when you're asking and you're doubting, and you're asking why this thing's happening, and you're realizing that you're getting distracted, whatever it is, I'm speaking to that. I'm speaking to my situation. If it's less favorable, if it's something about money, if it's something about my spouse, if it's something about my children, it's something about somebody that I'm dating, if the situation is something that I do not want, I am speaking to it, and I am saying, hey, look, you don't run the show. I may be here right now, but I know it's only temporarily, and I know that this is not where I'm going to end. This is not where I'm going to end. God has come through for me before, and He will today. He will this time. What He has done for me before, He will do it again. Everything worked out for my good before, it will work out for my good again. So, situation, you may be here right now, and that's okay. And I welcome you. I welcome you and I ask you to do the work that you need to do in me, but I promise you, you will not stay. And I will not fall victim to what it is that you're thinking that you're going to do here. I'm not. I'm using you. You are not using me. I control you. You don't control me. That's how it goes. So, as we use the power in our tongue, we speak to our situations and we gain confidence from what it is that we're going through, rather than allowing our confidence to be detracted from and where we're what we're going through, because that happens. We face this situation and then we feel, like I said, we feel powerless. And so it takes away from us rather than giving to us. But we got to turn that thing around, because we are powerful. And understanding that, no, 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 situation, you are here for me, for me. So you are not against me. You are not here to break me. You will not break me. There is nothing that can break me. So I will use you for what you're worth. And then as you're, let you go. You can exit. That's all I need you for. That's what it's for. That is what it is. So every situation that we are presented with, we're placed in this situation and God comes through, right? Everything ends up working out for our good. And then we're placed in another situation. What we're supposed to be doing is going back to that situation that we just came from, and pulling from that, we pull out what it is that we know, what it is that happened, what it is that we've seen, what it is that we've felt, and we take that into the next situation that we're presented with. And it's like, okay, all right. So I may be facing something different. It may be a different situation. It may be a different circumstance. But hey, I know last time when it was when things were funny and I didn't know how things were going to play out, they played out fine. And I was taken care of and I was protected. So I'm going to take that same confidence and roll it into this situation and tell my situation that, hey, you ain't got nothing on me. So thank you for being here. I will gain everything that I'm going to gain, and then you can move along. And so in that situation, we're taking the same thing, because we know that one thing is constant. One thing is constant is change. One thing is constant is, while we're changing, is growth. If we choose to do so, right? If we choose to grow. But as we're growing, and if we're choosing to grow, we are constantly going to be placed in situations that stretch us, that promote that growth. So as we go from situation to situation, I want you to be mindful of what you're picking up. Don't pick up something that detracts from you. Don't pick up something that you cannot use going into the next situation, that does not strengthen you. Pick up only the things that are going to strengthen you. Pick up only the things that lend to your confidence, that lend to your energy. And then move on, and we get hit with another situation. We take from that. We use it. It doesn't use us. We move into the next situation. And that is how our trust is built. That is how our faith is built. That is how you see these people, that it's just like, wow, you seem like you are just this huge tree that's got roots spanning, I don't even know, like miles wide. Because it seems like no matter what comes your way, you are not moved. You are not shaken. That's how you get there. Everyone can reach that place, but we've got to be mindful on what it is that we're focusing on. We've got to be mindful of the distractions that are coming. We've got to pick up what is meant for us to pick up in every situation, and it snowballs, allowing it to snowball, right? So I'm adding to it. I'm putting in my box. I'm adding to it. I'm putting in my box. And before I know it, I get to situations that's just like, yo, you, hi, how you doing? Yeah, okay, you can come in. All right. So what we learning? Like it doesn't phase me. I don't get knocked over. I'm not questioning. I'm not doubting. I'm not wondering why this situation has presented itself. I'm not worrying whether I did enough or whether I didn't. I'm here. I'm here at this moment and I accept it. So what we got? What we got going on? Because I know throughout this whole thing, I will always be covered. I will always be protected because he did it last time. And anything that he did before, he can do it again. And I believe that he's going to do it again. Point blank. There's nothing that can shake my faith. That is how you become unshakable. But you have to direct your focus in the way that it needs to be directed, where it needs to be directed. And we've got to be mindful of these sneaky distractors that come our way, just trying to knock us off our path. We're smarter than that. We understand that. So that's what I want to leave y'all with. I think I'm done. Um, use the power. Use the power that you hold. And I'm hoping that as we're continuing down this journey, as we're doing this, as we're talking, as we're opening our eyes to situations and seeing them for what they really are and not what they feel like, I am hoping, it is my hope, it is my goal that we are understanding and becoming more or stepping more into the true power that we have. And we're able to see it because as each situation presents itself, just like I said, we're taking from it, we're adding to our confidence. But as these situations, as we're being placed in these situations, we're using more and more of our power. That's what I want. That's what I want. So where we're speaking to situations where we're just like, no, 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 no. I know how powerful I am. I know the power of my words. And when we are in situations, we're not just throwing around our words loosely. We're not just saying whatever it is that comes to our mind. We're thinking about the words that we speak because we know that the words that we speak hold power. So I want us to just be mindful of that. But I'm going to close out in prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for everything that you've done for us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for always being a constant presence in our lives. Thank you for just your love, your mercy, your grace. I thank you for using me. I thank you for using the people that are on this call. I thank you for using the people that are looking at it on a replay, whatever it may be. I thank you for using them as well. I thank you for placing us in situations that cause us to empty out everything that needs to be emptied so that you can use us fully in the direction and in the way that you want us to be used. I thank you for allowing us to even be on this journey just to become the best, our best selves and the best version of us and the people who you created us to be. I thank you for allowing us to unlearn things that we've been taught and that don't serve us anymore. I thank you for just every day us just becoming more and more and more evolved and more truly aligned to who we are. I thank you for showing up today as you do every single day. I thank you for just the word that you gave. I thank you for speaking to me. I thank you for speaking to everyone else through me. And Lord, I just ask that you continue to be with us. I ask that you continue to help us in focusing on what it is that you need us to focus on and just being more keenly aware of the distractors that come on our path and try to knock us off and try to distract us and just move our focus, but just allow us to stand strong, allow us to gain that confidence, allow us to just understand the power that we truly hold, and just allow us to just have that, use that power, use it fully in speaking to our situation and speaking to ourselves and breathing life over our lives, over others' lives, over our children's lives, over our spouses' lives, over our home, over our cars, whatever it may be. Lord, allow us to really understand the power that we hold. Show us. I thank you. I thank you for everything that you're doing in our lives. Amen. So I thank you guys for everything. As always, we ended a little bit early, but Either way, it was a pleasure, and I will see you again next week. Same time, we'll be in the second week of February. Things are moving, things are shaking. And y'all, look, check in with yourself, evaluate, and see how you're moving. Are you in alignment? If not, don't worry about it. It's okay. You can always get back, figure out what you need to do to get back in alignment and do it. That's all. It's not that deep. It's cool. You can be all right. All right. So I will talk to you next week, same time, same place. See ya. Bye.